after we listen to Freak Show by Faith Head.
Dot your eyes and cross your T's. This communication will bring you to your need. I'll show you a new way to see the true way, not perceived by the eyes, but by true faith. Guitars raging and the bass so low, you can gain the whole world and lose your soul. Stand up, you're about to receive salvation, so just believe and turn up the radio. Turn it up till the speakers blow. Turn up the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Freak Show. Turn up the radio. Turn it up till the speakers blow. Turn up the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Freak Show. Intellectual with your hollow soul. Stop. Do you really think you're in control? Look in the mirror, tell me, what do you see? I'll see a fool staring back at me. But you just keep digging, dig deep, down deep. The harvest is ready, you got nothing to reap. Time to wake up and look around. You're standing so tall while your brothers hit the ground. Turn up the radio. Turn it up till the speakers blow. Turn up the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Freak Show. Turn up the radio. Turn it up till the speakers blow. Turn up the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Freak Show.
And there you have it. That's Freak Show by the group who call themselves Faith Head. And nobody would guess in, 5 or 10 years at least, that they're from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Here's a man right now, Patrick Shipley from Faith Head. Welcome aboard, Patrick. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, David and Joe. Thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic to have you here, and I was really, when I first heard your music, I was really surprised, and I guess it's kind of a preconceived notion, but I was really surprised to find that you were from Chattanooga. I would not have guessed that that was where you were from. How did you guys get
rock and roll in Chattanooga?
Yeah, I believe they do. I just don't associate metal bands with Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm sorry. You guys got to be the hardest rockers in Chattanooga.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but we do well on our own. There are some great bands that have come out of Chattanooga, and right now we're doing pretty good for our music to stretch as far as it has.
You definitely are doing that. The word is getting out, and I want to get to that particular part of your story here. But before we do, tell us a little bit about how you guys came together, how long you've been together, how you got to where you are right now.
Well, just very simply, I'd come out of a band that had done pretty well. I wasn't exactly sure if I had another band in me. I'd gotten married and had some kids, and I wasn't exactly sure if, do I want to keep doing this? And, God sent the inspiration to me So I was driving between two cities, and it just all kind of fell into place. Pretty much, I'm the glue that binds us all together. I knew all the guys in the band, and some of them did or did not know each other, but for the most part, I got to pick a lot of the people that I wanted to play with, and the idea was very simple in the beginning, and it's still kind of the driving force today. I wanted to be able to write and play music that I liked, and I wanted it to be fun, and I wanted it to be inspiring to people. And, God blessed that. He blessed that, and it started with one song, Going to the Mountain, and people liked that song, and as soon as we put it out, they're like, you got another. And then we put out another song, and like, oh, you got another. I'm like, well, we just gave you two. He's like, no, you got to go to the album. You got to go to the studio, record an album. And then it kind of all just snowballed from there. But I'm very blessed to have such good musicians around me. I got Gabriel Gardner on drums, phenomenal drummer, multi-styles, just not just a metal drummer, but he does jazz. He can do all the country snare, fancy licks. He knows it all. I got Donnie Raines on guitar, who is a phenomenal, songwriter, guitarist, and he came in as a rhythm player, and he's settled into the lead guitar role very well, and it's been awesome to watch him blossom in an area that he would not have initially called his strength. And then I got Jimmy Webb now on vocals, who has just done a phenomenal job as a front man, and it's like every performance he just grows exponentially. So I'm very blessed to have these guys, in this group.
It sounds like you're all pretty well blessed there, and I want to get into that and your inspiration, because that was one of the things that attracted my attention. But before I do, I know John Bon Jovial is sitting there just chomping at the bit, wanting to jump in here. What you got, John?
Well, Patrick, first of all, congratulations on a really, really nice sound. Musically, you guys have got it together. You've got a nice production value to the song, to Freak Show, and you answered one of my questions. I was wondering who was doing the vocals, if that was you, but I guess now I know it was Jimmy Webb. And the thing that I like about his vocals is there's one thing that turns me off to metal music. And that's when somebody goes out of their way to try to kill their voice while they're singing. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't. He sings, he's melodic, he carries the tune, it's a full voice, and the music accompanies it beautifully instead of this mass distortion of voices that I hear. And I just wonder to myself, yeah, it's good balance. And I always wonder how these bands are able to do that. And then after the show, can they actually talk to each other, or is this guy shut down because now he's got to take in a gallon of Listerine to get his voice back?
The singer on the album is Jason Beavers, and Jimmy, who replaced Jason, actually they're very a lot alike. Jimmy's got a good melodic voice, but he can also do some of that heavier stuff, which you'll hear on our next release. We got a single coming out here soon called Old Sin New Skin, where you're going to get to see Jimmy do both of those. But Jason, he did an excellent job on the first album, and actually he's helping us write the second one. So he had to leave the band because of personal issues. He just couldn't keep going forward with us doing the live stuff, but he's still in the family and still supporting us. So it's good to have him there.
Fantastic.
Is he sitting in? I was going to say, is he sitting in as a studio musician with you guys?
He's doing some songwriting with us. He's doing some production work with us. I'm hoping that he will be able to do some studio stuff. Right now, his time's very limited. Otherwise, he'd still be holding that singer spot. But all in all, Jimmy's done a phenomenal job for our live performance. He's just a phenomenal front man, and Jason is a great songwriter, great guitarist. It's hard to play guitar and do vocals and do the front man thing. You think of all the greats, David Lee Roth, Ozzy, all those guys. It's hard to, you can't juggle both positions
It's tough to do both and do them well.
Do them equally well.
Yes, exactly. So. And I hope you're mentioning your next single. I hope you will get us a copy of that so that we can present it here on the show for the listeners. Now, you had talked about your inspiration, and as I said, that was one of the things that caught my attention. Your inspiration and the fact that your music is more than just music. It actually has a message, and a very positive message.
Yes, that is something that we label ourselves, as a Christian band because we all are believers of Jesus Christ, of different denominations, but the message is still the same. And I think it's one of the divine elements in our songs is that a lot of people don't recognize right off the bat that we're a Christian band, and they'll say, "Man, I just felt this energy in the music, and I was like, yes, I was feeling good, and I was getting into it." Well, that's great, because whether you're a believer or not, we want you to have that, because as you know, hard rock or metal is often synonymous with negative energy or releasing negative energy.
Exactly.
We feel like our music can do both. You can release the negative energy, but you can also be refilled with the positive energy, which can only come from the divine.
And that is exactly why I was interested in having you come on the show with your message, because of the fact that unlike a lot of the heavy metal, a lot of other types of music too, but in this case, heavy rock, unlike a lot of it, your music has a very positive message, positive feel, and I like that. I think we need more of that today. John?
The music has a positive feel. It's got a good vibe to it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't necessarily pick up on it being a Christian rock piece. I picked up on it as being something that I could listen to, something that I could enjoy, and something that I could aspire to, wanting to learn more about. But I think that, musically, this is such a fine piece. It really is. I mean, yet you've got that heavy, metal vibe going with it. But the vocal is so clear and so precise. And the message, I mean, somebody's going to think to themselves, "Oh, welcome to the freak show." I don't know if I want any part of this, but what I get from that is, welcome to life. That's that. I mean, am I off base there?
No, I mean, there's definitely some room for some personal interpretation in that. There are so many people now in our culture saying, "My way is the only way," or
yes.
we're so polarized.
Yes,
there is no room for middle ground. There's no room for discussion. If you're for this, you're automatically against that. And we have all these pseudo-intellectuals. Yeah. I mean, we have all these pseudo-intellectuals walking around, declaring that their point of view is fact. Well, we all know the cliche. And what we're doing in Faithhead is basically we're standing up and giving the Christian worldview its spot in the marketplace, in the public square. And that's all we're doing. We're saying we have a voice in this too, and this is ours. And, we're not trying to put anybody down or anything of that nature. We don't want to represent ourselves in that fashion. We don't think that's what Christ would have done. Actually, he would have probably had as if you read the Bible, he's always harder on the people who are supposed to be religious than those that needed to hear his message. So we try to emulate that as much as possible, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is espouse truth from the Christian worldview the best that we can through music.
Right, and the fact that, as you said, there's so much division and polarizing in our society today. It's good. It's refreshing to have someone with a positive message of unification. As a matter of fact, we were talking about that right at the top of the show. The bit
Sure.
about renaming urban music. Again, trying to avoid more divisiveness. The world has plenty of that right now. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming on the show, bringing your music with it. We really enjoyed it. As I said, we are